All right, so hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to discuss this question that have been asked so many times by so many people. They have asked me, is there money in taxi driving? Is there money in Uber? Is there money in driving the vehicles for the ride-hailing business? And in this video, we are just going to discuss more about the cars themselves. So we are not going to look at the boda guys or guys doing bicycles for food delivery. And anytime that a person poses me that question, I'm always very diplomatic in the way I answer. And my answer is always based on evidence because, as you know, guys, I have driven Uber before. I know how the industry works. I have some vehicles that I have given drivers to drive, so I know what it means to be a partner in the ride-hailing sector. So at least the elements of answers that I'll give you as to whether there is money in this business or not is based purely on my experience. So, and I don't like giving financial advice in this video, in this channel, because that is not my work. Financial advice is your responsibility. If you watch our videos, I always recommend that you watch a number of videos, collect different perspectives, combine them, and come up with a choice, come up with a decision as to whether this business is interesting for you or not. So, going back to the question, is there money in this business? I will give you several examples and then I leave it for you to determine whether there is money or not. Um, when I give my car to a driver, I ask for 1,300 shillings per day. And for all the drivers I have ever had, there is no single driver that has not managed to pay me that money. Every day I receive my 1,300 shillings without fail. And if one of the driver misses to pay me today, he will pay me the next day, double amount. If he misses 2 days, the only thing they have to do is to communicate. And then the subsequent days, they have to cover for the days they miss. So 1,300 shillings is possible for all my drivers to pay me. The second category of people is the fleet management companies. I have given examples here and I will not mention names. Some companies ask for 1,700. You can Google them, you will see. You can watch some of the videos and the drivers I have interviewed. They ask for 1,700 shillings every day, and the driver cannot sleep with that money. If you don't pay, you will not be able to show up to work the next day. You will not be able to work with that car. You have to pay that money. Another fleet management company asks for 2,000 shillings, and drivers, they manage to pay. I have spoken to a number of drivers. They have actually stayed with that fleet company for over 1 year, meaning that you cannot stay for over 1 year in a place if you are not making something. I'm also aware that there are some cars relatively new. I believe they are electric vehicles. They use electricity. You charge them in a charging station. They are being given to drivers, and then drivers are being asked for up to 2,300 shillings per day, and those drivers are able to pay. And I have discussed with a driver like that one. He told me for him he pays 2,300 every day. Of course, that is an electric vehicle. Probably it doesn't consume too much of fuel, but the driver is able to pay 2,300 every day to that partner. Those are the four different scenarios. So my drivers giving me 1,300, fleet company asking for 1,700, another fleet company asking for 2,000, and another company asking for 2,300 for the electric vehicles. All this money is being collected from the taxi driving. So you drive as a driver and then you are paid that money, and part of the money you collect is the one that you pay for all the categories I have indicated. So let us get now into the second bit of the analysis. So you can put that aside. So I just wanted to show you how much money drivers pay to partners, and they have managed, either with struggle or without struggle. But the fact that they have stayed with those cars for a long time, it simply says that they have been able to pay for the period they have been with those cars. The other analysis that we are going to make here is regarding the car loans. Actually, I was discussing with another driver like 2 days ago, and he told me that before he joined the taxi industry, he did not ever have a vision of buying or owning a car, because all his life, he was 32 years old, all his life, he has never touched any amount of money that gave him hope that one day he could afford to buy a car. So the dream of buying a car was actually not something that has ever crossed his mind. But when I was discussing with him 2 days, he was actually owning a car. What he did is that he used the microfinance, the microfinance way. So you know, the microfinance, we have two type of microfinances. We have the deposit taking microfinance, like the SACCOs, all other small banks. And then we have the non-deposit taking microfinances, those that are normally involved in financing, lending money and giving loans or giving other forms of financing like quick cash or something like that. So them, they opted for the microfinance. And just to mention names, we have many microfinances in Kenya. Actually, it is one of the booming financial sector that is supporting the ride-hailing economy, and we can discuss that in another day. Given the complaints that people have made against them or not, credit must be given that these microfinances have really supported drivers to own their own cars. So we have like Mogo, we have Monanchi Credit, we have Platinum, we have Momentum, we have Watu. So that driver, he just deposited 20,000 with one of these microfinances, and then he was paying 35,000 shillings per month for 2 years, around something like that. But let me tell you, after the 2 years, now he owns the car. He was able to complete that payment. Whether the interest charged by the microfinance is fair or not, that is not the subject for this discussion. But the guy was able to raise 35,000 shillings every month to pay for that car that ended up in his ownership after the 2 years. And I want you guys to tell me what kind of income, if you are employed on a payslip, what level of salary do you need for you to be able to save 35,000 shillings and also attend to the other needs that you have with your family? Because the gentleman was married, he has 3 kids, he has, you know, he has to feed them, he has a wife, he has things to run, he has errands, he has school fees to pay. But the guy was the sole provider in that family. Whether he struggled or not, whether it was difficult or not, he was able to set aside 35,000 every month to buy a car, to pay for that car loan. What salary do you need to be able to save a net of 35,000 from your salary? Do that math for yourself. Look at the amount of money you are making. Even people who are taking home 100K from their payslip, it is difficult for them to save 35,000 because you have to pay rent, you have to take kids to school, all those kind of stuff. But Uber is able to do that. Now, I want you to tell me, a lot of drivers have also acquired vehicles through the same road, and this is more for taxi business. You just make a small deposit and then you are able to pay the loan and you own the car. Now I want you to tell me, from those experiences, do you think that there is money in this sector? And in your answer, you must make a comparison. Of course, we cannot study Uber alone. We cannot study the taxi driving independent of other works that people do. I want you to take a similar a work, an example of your friend who is working, or yourself, and ask yourself, are you able to make all these payments that Uber drivers are making and still continue living a life from the payslip that you receive from your employer? In my view, the only problem with taxi driving is the financial literacy of drivers and the people who are in that sector. The biggest issue, and every advice I give to taxi drivers, is that they must establish a solid way to save money every day from whatever they collect. Because these guys, they touch a lot of money, but that money will enter into their pocket in denomination of 200, another is 300, another one is 500. Those are the normal amounts of money that will pass through their pockets, and a lot of them tend to overlook those amounts. They think that those amounts are very small for them to accomplish anything. And those taxi drivers who have been able to accomplish something are those who have been hooked to a mandatory saving plan, like the ones that have taken cars with loan. If you have a car loan, that car loan always get paid. I know, of course, there are some defaulters like in any other sector, but if a taxi driver has a car loan, he is able to pay that car loan without fail. But if you don't have a car loan, you will still say that the business is not good. So my advice here to anybody watching me and desiring to get into the taxi business, the moment you touch that wheel for the first day and you start driving, establish a long-term saving plan. And that one you can do it maybe by joining an endowment fund. I hear people talk about money markets nowadays, but the issue I have with money markets and circles is that they are very liquid. You have the money market app on your phone. In a click of a button, you can withdraw your money and you have it in your M-Pesa. The same thing with circles. Nowadays, circles have become very liquid. You request to withdraw, you get your money. But back then, I think when I used to be very active in circles, it was a process actually to get your money back, because you could only get them back, even your money, in form of a loan. But nowadays you can withdraw your deposits. So the only complex part of it is when you are borrowing over and above what you have deposited. So this is what I tell drivers: please establish a long-term saving plan. Make sure that even if you, I don't know, but money advisors, if you are financial advisors, if you are private or an individual private advisor, please post your contacts there so that drivers can reach out to you and just, train them on what long-term financial plans can a driver have for their literal daily income. Because I was doing maths and just demonstrating how much savings a driver could have if they only saved 700 shillings per day, or 600. If you save that consistently for 3 years, you will buy your own car. Ask anybody in employment today to buy a car in 3 years. They must get a promotion. They must have something above 100K in income. Or maybe probably people who don't have a lot of bills to pay. But for the taxi drivers, I can tell you, I believe that they touch a lot of money. But how that money get in and out of their pocket and the speed at which that happens is the biggest issue. So let us all do the math. And the figures I have given you, I am assuming that the car does not belong to the driver. So assuming that you are driving your own car, all the money we are talking about here that is being given to a partner, you will pocket that money. But of course, I have done several analyses to just show you that you will also incur the cost of maintaining that vehicle. But the reality is, guys, this money is significant for some people. It is really significant for some people. Maybe it is also a big mistake for me to compare taxi driving with people who are earning a salary from their jobs. I always say that taxi is a savior job for so many people, because for me, I have taken people from the village who have been doing construction work or manual work, or farm work being paid less than $2, $3 per day, and they came to Nairobi, and taxi driving transformed their lives. Those are the kind of opportunities we need to speak about. Maybe people coming from employment might not appreciate this work as much, but the Mujengo guys, the watchmen who are paid 17,000 per month, if you bring them in this business, I'm telling you, they will always give thanks to you, of course to God, but they will always be thankful that you led them to this opportunity. And by the way, there is a driver I connected, and every day he is sending me like 500, not every day, by like every other week. Sometimes I am just doing my work, I hear a text come through my phone, I check, I see, oh, Kamau has sent me 500. Like, that guy really appreciated the opportunity I gave him. It has been over 10 months since I connected him to the industry, and he's always like, Joe, you turned my life around. While other people are complaining, the guy is feeling like his life has been transformed by the doubling of income from what he used to do before and what he's getting from Uber. So guys, so let me know what you think. If you are an Uber driver there, just drop us your contact. I have put there my number. Let's have this conversation. I told people that taxi driving is like a conveyor belt. You can never do this forever. There are people who will join and others will leave. So some will come in, others will leave. Others will leave, others will come in. So taxi driving is a conveyor belt. And that's why I want everybody to be educated about it. If my video will make you quit, then I think that is the natural status of this business. If my video will make you join, it's also within how this business works. But my role here is to share information, and you guys can be able to analyze in combination to all the other videos I have done, and then you make a decision. So that's all I had for you today, guys, and cheers and bye-bye.